Welcome to the Impactivist Show.
I wanted to make change at a community level without being elected.
I see change moving forward in having these conversations, but not just with me, not just with people of color.
The circumstances of your childhood do not determine who you are as an adult.
I am the face of domestic violence.
The stuff in your life is good. You just don't want to cling to it.
You can walk away from what society says we're supposed to want and have and need and all of those things.
And that's the things that what's so great about people in general is that we can adapt. We just got to be open to change.
I believe that I was left behind for a purpose, to serve.
I saw that my life was a vast, flowing, empty page, and I could do anything I wanted.
Hey, my friends, this is Tom Cotter, and you're listening to The Impactivist Show. This is a podcast that connects you with ideas, habits, and leaders who are making an impact in their community and across the globe. In this podcast, you'll be inspired by their stories and their struggles. You'll learn tips and strategies to enhance your own personal growth, your life, and become the very best version of yourself that you can be. And you'll walk away with a renewed sense of empowerment and motivation to make an impact in your world right where you are. So welcome to the Impactivist Show, where inspiration and ideas collide. Thanks for being here. Hey podcast, what's good, man? Listen, I'm super pumped about season 2 of the Impactivist Show. We've taken a few weeks, a couple of months of hiatus. In that few weeks, there was a post on social media, and that post just simply asked the question, what did you want to be when you grew up? And you know, you have people responding to that, thinking back to their childhood with answers like, I wanted to be an astronaut or a doctor or a lawyer or a veterinarian or a singer or a dancer or an artist or 1,000 different things. And so kind of tongue-in-cheek, I answered that with the 2 words, evil genius, which I thought was kind of funny, but it kind of sparked some side conversations where I got accused of all kinds of things. But it got me to thinking, if I was going to become an evil genius, what would I do? What could I do? If that was true, there are about 10 things that I would do, and I want to share these with you, but I want you to know they're going to be controversial. You don't have to agree, but if I was going to become an evil genius, here's what I would do. You ready? Number 1, if I was going to become an evil genius, I would restrict everyone's blood flow. Think about that for a second. I would give everyone I know things like social media and video games and Netflix and Hulu and Disney Plus. There's a new study out that shows that the more screen time you have, the smaller your brain becomes. Let me say that again. New study just out that shows the more screen time you have, the smaller your brain becomes. If I was going to be an evil genius, I would have everyone sit for 8 hours a day while working at a desk, not outside, not exercising, no exposure to the sun and vitamin D, which, by the way, increases this little thing called BDNF, which is brain-derived neurotrophic factor. It's like Miracle-Gro for your brain. So I would have everyone just sit and be sedentary and stare at a screen and restrict their blood flow to make their brain smaller. That would be a really cool thing to do if I was an evil genius. Second thing is this. I would have everyone retire at 55. Those of you who know me, you know I'm a word nerd, and the word retire literally means to draw back. So think about that for just a second. Man, if everyone could retire at 55 and just sit in front of the TV and stay angry and, watch Fox News or CNN News or vent that everything in the world is going to hell in a handbasket, or just binge Netflix, man, just kind of unplug and watch YouTube all day and not challenge your brain, not challenge your thinking with new ideas. That way, they could just be sedentary and deteriorate even faster. I mean, that would be a cool idea. Number 3, I would increase inflammation. Like I would give everyone processed foods and gut biome issues and fast foods. Like I would make processed foods, lab-created foods, so abundant and so cheap I would make them so saturated with sugar and salt that it would hijack their taste buds and make them biologically addicted to this fake food. Like, if I could do that, I could keep them unhealthy, and I could increase inflammation and keep them dependent on all the stuff that I gave them. Number 4 is this. If I was going to be an evil genius, I would teach people to blame all their problems on their genetics. So instead of using those genetics as a wake-up call, just admit, obesity runs in my family. Just admit diabetes runs in my family, or high cholesterol runs in my family, or heart disease runs in my family, man. There's just nothing I can do about it. Instead of using it as a wake-up call to change your lifestyle, to make conscious, intentional choices, man, I would just teach them to live on autopilot, blame their genetics, be a victim, and don't even try. Another thing I would do if I was going to be an evil genius is I would increase head trauma. Like, I would encourage everyone to play football and hit soccer balls with their heads. I wouldn't tell them that inside their skull, that part that's next to your brain, it's filled with these sharp, tiny, pointy little bones, and that every instance of head trauma contributes to brain injury and brain disease later in age. I wouldn't tell them that. Hey y'all, it's Tom. Listen, I'm jumping in here real quick to tell you that one of the things I'm super passionate about is feeding hungry children who don't have enough to eat this weekend. It's such a big deal. My wife and I started a nonprofit charity called Backpack Friends, where we're feeding thousands of children who otherwise would be going without food while they're not at school, and it's right here in the U.S. We're working hard to make an impact in the lives and communities of those who need it most, and I would love for you to join us in that project. Just go to backpackfriends.com, and for as little as $10 a month, you can be a hero to a hungry child. See, leadership isn't about being in charge. It's about caring for those in your charge. Go to backpackfriends.com to find out how you can be a hero to a child, or just text the number 10 to 512-856-6580 to get started. But now, let's get back to the show. Number 6 is this. If I was going to be an evil genius, I would want to focus on toxins. Like, I would fill up their environment with toxic substances, whether it's air, water pollution, whatever. But I'd also let companies not have to list all the ingredients on their products. Like, whether it's food or makeup or deodorant or hair products, I would tell everyone that vaping is safer than smoking. I would just say, you know what, go ahead and vape all you want. It's like a safe alternative. I'd get everyone to think of alcohol as a health food, and I'd encourage the recreational abuse of marijuana. And don't get me wrong, like, if you drink or you don't drink, you want to have a glass of wine or a margarita, you do you. But as an evil genius, I would encourage you to think of that as health food. Number 7 is this. I would throw tons of money at news stations like Fox and CNN. Like, I would stir up stress and cortisol, those fight or flight hormones. I would stir up fear. So we have studies showing that people who consume more than 30 minutes of news per day are more likely to suffer from anxiety, depression, PTSD, alcoholism, and poor sleep. Let me say that again for those of you who are listening. We have studies that show people who consume more than 30 minutes of news per day are more likely to suffer from anxiety, depression, PTSD, alcoholism, and poor sleep. So if I was going to be an evil genius, I would have multiple 24-hour news channels and streaming platforms. I'd have news reporting channels on YouTube and podcasts and social media. If I was an evil genius, I would want as many people depressed and stressed and anxious as possible. So I'd ramp up as much news and political strife as I could. I'd have it on 24 hours a day. Number 8. Number 8 is simple, but it's a little controversial. Like, studies show that when your weight goes up, your brain size goes down. If I was an evil genius, y'all, I would create an epidemic of what's called diabesity. I'd just make it normal to be overweight. You think about weapons of mass destruction? Man, forget about the Russians and the Chinese and ISIS. Think about high glycemic, low nutrition, highly processed, low fiber food-like substances. All those things that are stored in plastic containers do more damage to us on a personal basis than we realize. I'd make it much more likely to die by being overweight and undernourished than be bombed by a terrorist. Number 9. If I was going to be an evil genius, I would create screens with blue light so I could disrupt everyone's sleep and make their willpower weaker. I want to make them more susceptible to being dependent on whatever I wanted, right? I would want to make them more suggestible to what they saw on all those screens. If I could make them tired and drained and sluggish, maybe they wouldn't question everything else that's going on around them. If I could create a group of people that every time I asked how you're doing, they would respond, I'm tired. That's an idea. I could do that with blue light and disrupting their sleep. Number 10. Lastly, I'd even let everyone in on what I was doing. If I was going to be an evil genius, I would put out a podcast and I would say, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do these 9 things, and I'm going to disrupt your sleep, and I'm going to give you bad nutrition. I'm going to create fear and stress and anxiety, and I'm going to tell them up front, this is what I'm doing. Yes, you're getting fat. Yes, you're too sedentary. Yes, you need to turn off the screen and the news. You need to get outside. Yeah, you need to drink more water. Yeah, you need to eat more actual food, sleep more. You need to protect your brain. You need to develop meaningful in-person relationships right now. But I would also tell them, man, it's just too hard. It is. It's just too hard to do those things. And everybody else is doing it. So it's okay. I mean, it's fine just the way things are, right? I mean, so why fight it? Yeah, those are the things I'm doing, but it's just too much. See, if I could do all that, I could become an evil genius. I think I could manipulate the way people spend their time and their money. I could control the quality of their lives. I could control the quality of their relationships. I know I could control their mindset. And instead of the masses of people having control over their lives, I think they might just willingly give up. I think they might never even know their full potential. So if I was going to become an evil genius, I think those are the 10 things I might do. Like, I really think that we could change the world by doing those 10 things. So what do you think? Those are the 10 things of how I would be an evil genius. What resonates with you? What do you listen to and you think, man, that's just, I don't agree with that. Or that really hits home with me. Or, yeah, it's hard, but how do I do those things? I mean, what else? One of the things I love about our community is our private Facebook group. Just go there, type in Impactivist if you're not there already. Join the conversation. There's a lot of things that we want to talk about because we want to encourage, we want to inspire. We want each of us to learn how to live the best one and only life that they've got. So that's why we're there. Jump in, be sure and hit subscribe, share this, send this to someone that may need to hear it. Send this to someone that you think it would encourage, because like I said, we've got some really cool things coming down the pipe, and I don't want you to miss it. We're so excited to be back into season 2. I can't wait to share with you some new relationships, some new friends, some people who have really inspired me over the past couple of months that I think are going to bring a lot of value to your life and to your plan. I'll talk to you soon. Hey y'all, I hope you enjoyed this segment. If you did, will you do me a favor? Could you hit the subscribe button? Could you share this episode with someone who would be encouraged to hear it? Maybe they just need a little boost right now and you could encourage them. Let them know you're thinking about them and that you thought they might enjoy it. The whole idea behind the Impactivist Show is to spread as much encouragement and empowerment as possible. I mean, let's face it, there's so much negativity and criticism in the world right now. Who couldn't use a little lift? So please, it would mean a lot if you could share and subscribe. Together, we can make a huge impact in the world. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you have a great day, man. I'll see you soon.
Oh my gosh, that was good.